Baba today says that when there is truth, the soul dances. And by dancing, Baba says that we are always carefree and fearless. Being carefree and being fearless in every scene of drama is the sign of a soul that dances. And where there is truth, there is always this carefree and fearless state. Now you see, yesterday there was a brother and he was asking me that, Didi, in office there is a lot of politics. There are lots of things going on. And then Gyan speaks about doing the right thing. And sometimes, you can always not be sweet, not be soft. Sometimes you have to, deal with stuff in a stern manner. And then I feel that, Gyan is not very practical. And then I was telling him that, you know what, Gyan or truth, when the soul imbibes the truth, what is the truth? The truth is you are a soul. You have nothing to lose. You come alone, you go alone. You only bring your sanskars with you. You take your sanskars with you. There is nothing to lose. So, and then the truth is, I'm with Baba, I'll go with Baba, and I will be sent by Baba to play my best part. So, Baba always says that when children ask, Baba, where will I be? Or what will come to my rescue in difficult times? Then Baba says, don't worry about where you will be in the end or what will come to your rescue, because wherever you will be with Baba. And Baba has promised us that I will never be alone. I'm always with Baba. Even when I go back, I'll be with Baba. And in Sangha, when I come to Satyug also, okay, Shiv Baba won't come with me, but Brahma Baba will come with me. So Baba says that there is no need to, worry when you have imbibed the truth. So the truth is you are a soul, you never die, you never lose anything. There is no loss for the soul ever. You have always Baba as your companion. And then the truth is that I, the soul, have this journey where this whole drama is designed for me. I am the ruler in Satyug. I am the worship-worthy soul from the Copper Age. I am the Sangam Yogi Brahmin in Sangam Yug. I am the going-to-be angel and deity. So, at no point in the drama do I have the worst. I always have the best. So, of course, the best depends on the drama, because the best in Satyug is not the best in Kali Yuga. But then, nevertheless, whether I am in Satyug or whether I am in Kali Yuga, I have the best of that age. So Baba says that when you imbibe this truth about who you are, who is with you, what's your journey, then you become carefree and fearless. And I told that brother that, Gyan makes you carefree and fearless. And do you know that all the wrong actions that we perform, they are performed when we are worrying and in fear. So, fear makes you become desperate. Fear makes you act wrongly. So, people say attack is the best defense. And when somebody has not attacked you, then what is it that makes you attack first? It is fear. And if you see, most of the times we are creating the first negative thought, the first negative act, the first negative word, because we are in fear. And Baba says that the truth, when the soul imbibes the truth, then you become carefree and fearless. And that is the dancing stage of the soul. And when the soul becomes carefree and fearless, then you don't act out of fear. And when you don't act out of fear, you act accurately. So, if there is a situation where somebody is threatening you, then it's not a good idea to be threatened. It's a good idea to be fearless and say that, it's okay, you go ahead and do whatever you want, and I will be in God's canopy. Because any act of fear, it makes you, not do the right thing and sometimes do the wrong thing. So fear also makes you not do the right thing at the right time, because you're afraid of loss of reputation, of loss of, many kinds of losses. And then it also makes you do the wrong thing, attack first, because you are in fear. So I told that brother that, when you listen to Baba's knowledge and you have yoga, then all the weakness in you finishes, and all the germs of the vices, they finish. And only when you imbibe Gyan, just knowing that you're a soul or knowing that Baba is with you, no. But when you know you're a soul, when you know you have to go to Satyug, when you know that Baba is with you, what will you do? You will remember Baba, because that's your duty in Sangam Yuga. Remember Baba and become pure. And when you have that power of purity, when you have that power of truth in you, then you're not in fear, or you're not in worry. And then all your acts are accurate. So, always speaking softly is not a good act. When it's time to speak sternly, you speak sternly. When it's time to speak softly, you speak softly. But the thing is, the soul, are grounded inside, and you are not under the influence of any vice. That's what's important. And when you're carefree and fearless, then all your actions are accurate actions. And so one is when you imbibe the truth, when you have the power of purity, then the soul dances. And the second thing is, when you are carefree and fearless, then you perform accurate actions, and then those actions also make you very light. Have you seen that when you are under the sway of negative emotions, and then you perform an act, and then later that act you did will make you think about it, and then you kind of become burdened by thinking about your own action. You repeat that action repeatedly in your head, because you didn't do the accurate thing. You cannot even sometimes point out what is it that you did wrong, but it's kind of lingering in your awareness, and you can't get rid of that thought, because that thought did not stem from purity and truth. So Baba says that we have to become an embodiment of truth, and when we finish all our weaknesses, we finish fear, we finish all the germs of vices, then all our actions will make us dance, they will make us light, and they will not make us burdened. And I'll give you one example. So there was this one brother, and he shared with me something that happened in a very by an employee of a very esteemed organization, and that employee was a scientist. He is a scientist, and that scientist, he was being troubled by his neighbor, and that neighbor was an advocate. And this person who was an advocate, he pressed some charges against this scientist because of some property dispute or something. And then this scientist got so troubled by it, he got so worried. And when you worry, you cannot think clearly, and then you start thinking about what can happen, what can go wrong, and then you start blaming and having anger towards the one you're blaming for that which can go wrong. And then with this mental confusion, what the scientist did is, he thought that this person is an advocate, so he's showing me his legal strength. So I'm also a scientist, I can make a bomb. And then he made a bomb, and then he planted it in the court under a seat where the advocate was about to sit. And then that advocate, he didn't get hurt during that incident, but the bomb went off in court. And then when the bomb went off in court, then there was an inquiry, and then they found out that this person, the scientist, was responsible for that act. And you see, when you don't have faith, and you cannot deal with troubled times with the power of faith, faith in your karma, faith in your destiny, faith in Baba, when you can't deal with troubled times with the power of faith, then what happens is you perform these wrong acts, and you become desperate, and then fear takes over, worry takes over, and then you cannot dance, you become very desperate, you become very, you become burdened with the weight of the situation, and then you can't think straight, and then you perform these acts. And then what happened? The scientist ended up in jail. Just think about, the scientist of such an esteemed organization, and he ended up in jail. It was all in the newspapers. So what I'm trying to say is, Baba says that imbibe the truth. The truth is, I have been blessed. I am the most blessed right now. I'm with Baba. And the truth is that I am a soul, and I never die, I never perish. The only respect I have is self-respect. Nobody can take that away. Nobody can kill me. And then I have Baba on my side. I have drama on my side. Even if something goes wrong in the short run, in the long run, nothing can go wrong. And if you have this faith, then you don't become desperate in the short run. And then those desperate, when you say desperate times call for desperate measures. So, you are never facing a desperate time. It's always a nice time, in the drama. And then you never resort to a desperate measure. And then that desperate measure has very bad consequences. So you don't have to deal with that. So Baba says, just imbibe the power of truth. And this power of truth is very important, because only with the power of truth you become fear-free, worry-free, and you act accurately, and you never take the burden of the situation, and you never perform such karma that you have to take the burden of your own karma. So this is something that Baba says. And then Baba kind of cautions us today against two things. One is bossiness, and then the next thing is, using the knowledge of karma in the wrong way. So Baba says that we children are, bestowers, master bestowers. We are charitable souls, punyatma, and we are the ones who have self-respect. And Baba says those who have self-respect give respect to everyone. And those who are bestowers, they will always be merciful. They will not have the bossiness. Now, what is bossiness? Bossiness is my way is the right way. So, when there is lack of acceptance for anybody's else's sanskars and their personality, and then you say, you shouldn't speak like this, you shouldn't do like this, you should do like this, then this you should, you shouldn't, this should is a word of bossiness. So you cannot dictate how anybody should be and how anybody should behave or how anybody should conduct themselves. We are nobody to dictate. When you start dictating, then that's a sign of bossiness. And sometimes, when Baba's children, they dictate to others how they should be, then they are also saying, Srimad doesn't say this, or Srimad says you do this. But Baba never dictates us. Baba teaches us. Baba tells us the Srimad. Does Baba say that, you should be like this, you shouldn't be like that, and if you are not like this, then you're wrong? And Baba doesn't say this. Baba says, it would be good if you did this. If you did this, you would go to heaven. If you didn't do it, you won't go to heaven. But it's still your choice. Baba doesn't say, you should do this. No. Baba says, yes, if you did this, you would go to heaven. You would take a big position in heaven. If you didn't do it, you won't get that position. But again, it's up to you. Have you seen? Baba says, if you want to get a good position in heaven, then do this. Baba doesn't say you should do this, you have to do this, you ought to do this. Baba doesn't use that language. Or, somebody shouldn't do that, or that's bad, that's wrong. Baba doesn't use that language because Baba knows that every soul is predestined, the drama is predestined, there is a pre-recording in every soul, and according to that knowledge, there is no question of should and shouldn't. So Baba says that we are also master bestowers, we are also merciful like our Baba. And whenever I see somebody, I have to be in self-respect. How do you gain self-respect? The method to be in self-respect is accept yourself first. Accept your drama, accept yourself, and then try to do better. What is self-respect? I know that I'm a soul. I know I've been around for 84 births. I know I've become impure. And then I know that I'm still the most fortunate because I have Baba. And I know that I'm still the best because I'm making effort to purify myself. So that is self-respect, accepting yourself and then having faith that you can do better, you can be better. And then Baba says that when you are in self-respect, you don't tell anybody that you are wrong, you're bad, you're not right. No. Baba says just like you accept yourself, you accept that they are who they are and it's okay. But then you have hope and faith that they can do better. And you uplift them, you cooperate with them in respect. You give them the respect that the soul seeks and deserves. And then you also help them lift themselves up through your actions, through your kind words, through cooperation, just keeping them together with you. So, involving them with yourself. That's the way you make them cooperate, or you cooperate with them. Cooperate means work together. So, telling somebody to work on themselves is bossiness. But cooperating with them, working with them together so that you both grow, that's cooperation. And Baba says that we are souls full of self-respect and we respect everybody, and then we uplift them and cooperate with them. And how did Baba, so this word cooperation is very beautiful. In Hindi it is called sahyog, but in English the word is better. Cooperate means work together. And you see, how did Baba, Brahma Baba, Mama, how did they influence children? By being with them, working with them. Baba never said read the Murli to children, and no, Baba read out the Murli to children. Yes, Baba spoke the Murli to children. Baba never said go clean the grains, no. Baba cleaned it with them. And then the children cleaned the grains with Baba. Baba always cooperated with the children. Baba did, first step Baba took, and then the children followed. And Baba says that if you have respect and love for souls, they will love you back. And when they love you and you take one step, they will cooperate with you. And that's how you uplift them. You don't uplift them by rejecting them for who they are. So Baba says this bossiness that, you are wrong as you are and you're not okay, that is not going to work. And that is not the sign of master bestowers, of charitable children of Baba. And then Baba also says, there are some children who say that, according to the law of karma, suffering is an aspect of karma. Yes, so we suffer because we did something. But then Baba also tells us that we did it according to drama. So law of karma is not an instrument of blame. When you use the law of karma in a slightly twisted way, and you say that you are suffering because you did something in the past, and that suffering is right and you should suffer, then that becomes blame. You're blaming somebody who is suffering. And you cannot victim blame because that person may be the victim of his own karma, but right now he is a victim. He is not a perpetrator, because we did it to ourselves, yes, but we did it according to drama. We were ignorant. And so, saying that somebody is suffering because of their own karma and they deserve to suffer, that's not the attitude of a knowledgeful soul. So, if the soul is knowledgeful, would they choose to do what they did? They would never choose to do what they did. Even, in Brahmin life, there are many children who do something wrong, but then you have to understand that even a Brahmin is a Purusharthi. A Brahmin is not somebody who has become pure. They are on their journey of effort, and on that journey they are many a times they are consumed by Maya. Maya is not only affecting them, consuming them. And then when you have the cloud of Maya on your head, then you can't think straight. The buddhi cannot discern anything. And then you make the mistake, or you call it sin, you call it anything. But you do it when you are under the influence of Maya. You don't do it in your sanity. And then Maya is an instrument of drama. So whenever something happens, it's already happened, then you don't blame the person who did it. You say that, this happened according to drama. And you don't say that when they suffer, when somebody is suffering, even if it's because of their own karma, I gave one example one day in class that there was one girl, and she came and she told me that she wants to get married. And then I told her that this boy that you want to get married to, he has suicidal instincts, and you are aware of that. So why do you want to choose that? And then she said, no, I want to choose that, and that's a choice I want to make because even mentally ill patients are human beings, and then somebody has to take care of them. So I said, okay, but then do you understand that you are not marrying, you are adopting a patient? Do you understand this? So she said, yes, I understand that, and I sign up for it. And then she went and got married. And then 3 years later, she came and she cried and yelled and she said, I want to get rid of this marriage because I can't handle it. And then I cannot tell her that, you made an open-eyed choice. I told her, you were told, so it's not that you are deceived. You made an open-eyed choice, but then now what? So, now there has to be compassion. Now you can't say that, go and suffer and, nobody will take care of it because you made that choice. No, okay. You understand that you were not deceived. You are suffering because of the choice you made. But then, yes, we will help you make you better choices now. We will help you, tell you what to do next. So Baba says that, it's important that you understand that. Now you see why Baba gives us this knowledge that everybody is suffering because of their own karma, because you see, if you don't have this knowledge, then you keep wondering, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? And you keep blaming it on God. So Baba says, no, it's very important that you understand that it's something that I created, so that the questions of why and how and what, they stop. But then it's a double-edged sword. So just because you understand, because it is my karma or somebody's karma, you don't start blaming them for their own karma. You don't start having that tone of blame. You have to understand that, okay, that happened and now they are suffering. So you have to be compassionate and help them overcome that suffering through Baba's Srimad. So Baba warns us against these two things, bossiness when we come into relationships, that this should be like this and you shouldn't do this, shouldn't do that. No, you have to accept the soul and then cooperate and uplift them. And then second is, don't use the law of karma as an instrument of blame. Use it for, have compassion and then heal the soul. So don't blame others or don't blame them for their karma. Just know that it happened according to drama, and then help them heal themselves and end their suffering. And then today Baba says something very, very interesting. Baba says that yoga power is science. Yoga power is science. The power of yoga is science. And I found that very interesting because, if you have seen the course pictures, in those pictures there is a picture of Raj Yoga. And in that picture of Raj Yoga, Baba is, so the soul is taking light and might from Baba. And in that same picture, there are other analogies from science. And they show a satellite sending signal to the TV. And they show a mobile phone taking signals from the tower and connecting two souls. And you see, just like science makes you take power from something that is very distant, there's a powerhouse, and then that powerhouse is in one place. But then every house can get electricity from that powerhouse through the power of science. Or you can tap into solar energy and get your machines working through the power of science. Similarly, yoga power is also science, where you can tap into the energy of the Supreme Soul by connecting your buddhi with Baba and draw the light and might from Baba and absolve yourself of your sins and get rid of your suffering. So you see, just like, you make a Bluetooth connection and there is no wire, but, two equipments are connected and then there is energy transfer. So what does science precisely do? Science makes energy transfer possible. Science makes it possible for you to transfer the energy from one source to another source through scientific power. And then Baba gives us the knowledge of yoga, where you can just collect your buddhi from everywhere and take it to Baba and plug in your buddhi to Baba and soak in the energy from the source. And this is science. This is very interesting aspect of science. And Baba says, power of yoga is science. And then there is also this connection between science and silence. When a researcher, a scientist, he develops something of science, he has to go into silence. Without silence, there is no research work. Without silence, science is not created. And here also, when we want to use the power of yoga, the use of spiritual science, we have to first go into silence, in Man Manabhav. And then in silence, I detach myself from everything around myself and I come to the awareness that I am a soul and I have a man and buddhi, and I can turn it to Baba and then I can attach it to Baba and then draw the power from Baba. And Baba says that just like there in the world, science and silence are working together, here also yoga power, which is science, works on the fuel of silence. So this is something very beautiful that Baba tells us today. And then Baba today talks about donation, where in this Sangam Yuga, we donate everything to Baba and get everything from Baba. And in Bhakti Marg, we donate something and get something from Baba. Here we donate everything and get everything from Baba. And there we get it for one birth. Here we get it for 21 births. So Baba says, in bhakti and in jnana, both these paths, donating is important. And here we donate everything, our body, mind, wealth, relationships, vices, everything you donate. And then when you donate everything, you get everything for 21 births. But it's give and take. So Baba says, I first give you, then you give, and then you take. So it is give and take. If you don't give, you can't take. So donating is important. Without donating, you cannot become full of the jewels of, treasures that Baba gives. Okay, Om Shanti.